Geely and its lineup of 3 SUVs in the Philippines have become so popular that they are now part of the top 10 manufacturers here in the Philippines. But with their latest edition of their all-new sedan, they're probably gonna go up the ladder even higher. This one right here is the all-new 2022 Geely Emgrand Premium. Today I'm going to show you around this car, but I'm not yet going to drive it, so stay tuned for the review. Looking at the all-new Geely Emgrand from the front, and you will immediately wonder why this car only costs as much as it does, which by the way isn't that much. The hood alone is incredibly bold looking, together with this really sleek and elegant looking grille, but not only is it elegant, but it is also very sporty looking. Aside from the black and chrome pieces you have on the grille, you also have a chin down below for some extra sportiness and really bold looking LED headlights plus LED DRLs. To the corners of the bumper, you also have a really nicely shaped garnish over there, which looks incredibly sharp. When you get on over to the side of the Geely Emgrand sedan, it gets even sleeker looking because you have this shoulder line that runs all the way from the front of the car towards the rear, and it is very protruded. So it does remind me of the Volkswagen Lamando, giving this a very Euro looking feel to it. You get these power folding mirrors with repeaters on it, and the best in its class 17-inch rims. Your fenders are also slightly bulgy, and your roofline isn't that sloping, which will ensure that you will have great headroom no matter where you sit. The car, despite this being a B-segment sedan or a car that would usually compete against the likes of the Toyota Vios or the Honda City, you get this quarter panel right here, which really is quite large and ensures that you have so much more space than the rest of the competition. In fact, this car is so long and so wide, it is only 0.7 inches narrower than a Toyota Camry, which is 2 segments above this car. The Geely Emgrand sedan has a ground clearance of 151 millimeters. Now, what if you compare this car to a rather popular car today, which is the Toyota Raze, with a ground clearance of officially 200 millimeters? Well, that's only a difference of around 2 inches. So if there is a flood, which obviously you don't know the exact depth of, will you wade through the flood with either of the 2 cars? I don't think so. You catch my drift? When you get to the rear 3 quarters of the Geely Emgrand, not only do you have the aforementioned quarter panel, which is really huge and something I really love with these cars, but can you not tell me that this part right here, at least the overhang, which is semi-short by the way, does not look like an Audi A3 or an Audi A4. This is definitely a very Euro-inspired look, which makes this a lot more premium looking than basically any other car in its segment. Another thing is that this car not only gets front ventilated discs, but you also get solid rear disc brakes. Walking towards the rear of the Geely Emgrand sedan, and first off, there is a very cool party trick. So as long as I have the key fob with me in my pocket and I'm near this trunk, after a couple of seconds, it'll open up by itself. That way, if my hands are full of groceries, I don't have to press anything. And in here, you're looking at 500 liters of space, and you also have a false floor with a donut spare tire. What's more, if you need more space, these seats also fold down 60/40. Before you close this though, do note that there is an emergency release inside, which is only common with US DM cars. Pretty cool. Now, once you do close this trunk, there we go, reassuring sound. Over here, you get sleek lines. So just look at the creases all over this trunk on its corners. And you also get this wraparound LED taillights with a light bar towards the middle, the Geely badge, which is really spelled out for you, a reverse camera, reverse sensors, and you even have this chrome trim down below. Plus, of course, don't forget the Emgrand badge and a diffuser way down below. Inside the Geely Emgrand sedan, it is a very artistic looking cabin. So not only do you get white, but you also get blue all around this cabin. And your seats, they are really comfortable. It's power adjustable for the driver's side too, and the bolsters are great. Plus you get perforations down the middle. Your steering wheel, it is also really nice to the touch. It is quite chunky, and you can even tilt it and also telescope it, which again, for its class, is just amazing. You have a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster, which if you do start it, it is absolutely beautiful. Push start, by the way, and an 8-inch infotainment screen down the middle. Although you do get a sunroof, you don't have a physical button to open it. Instead, you do have to enter this infotainment screen to open it, which could be quite annoying, but at least this screen is quite responsive. You got a bunch of places down the middle to put the phone, 12-volt outlet, a shifter, which has manual mode as well, electronic parking brake with auto hold, and 2 cup holders. Your dashboard as well as this centerpiece, they are all in blue, and they are wrapped in this semi-leather-like feel. It's somewhere in between suede and leather. It's a very interesting feeling material, and the lower half of the dash gets you these beautiful and sleek air vents, which also feel incredibly high quality. Even the buttons down the middle, they are also very high quality feeling. And when you go on over to the side, yes, you get way more soft touch in this one, plus more of that blue and white stitched leather look. Now, the interior of this car is so quiet that at idle, it is 3 decibels quieter than a BMW 3 Series, and also at 120 kilometers per hour, it is also 3 decibels quieter than a BMW 3 Series. The rear of the Geely Emgrand is as great as the front. From your two-tone leather, which is really supple feeling, to your legroom, headroom, and even your feet room, it is just perfect back here, and you will not feel claustrophobic at all because, again, those rear quarter panels are quite huge. Now, one thing that you don't have back here, unfortunately, is the center armrest, but that is fine because you do get your own USB port, just one, and you also get 2 air vents at the back. If you do want to see 3 people back here, you can also easily do so because the floor is almost completely flat. And remember how I said that this car is only 0.7 inches narrower than a Toyota Camry? So in its class, this is absolutely the best for seating 3 people abreast. While the rest of the Geely lineup gets 1.5-liter turbocharged inline 3 engines, this one right here in the entire lineup of the Emgrand sedan gets a 1.5-liter naturally aspirated inline 4 engine, which makes 102 horsepower and 142 Newton meters of torque. Those people who say that turbos are not that reliable, well, here's your answer. This one right here is now finally naturally aspirated. This one, by the way, is also mated to a CVT transmission with 8 simulated gears. Before we end, there is just this one more party trick that the Geely Emgrand sedan has that I would like to show you. So if you have the key fob with you, you press the lock button, then you do hold down this switch right here with the round thing. It'll actually fire up just like that. So that way the cabin can be cooled beforehand before you enter the car. So you can also turn it off by doing the same. And now we get to something even more magical than this remote start system: pricing. So this Geely Emgrand sedan in this top-of-the-line premium trim is only 908,000 pesos, undercutting the competition by a huge margin. If you would like to go for the base model trim, you can even get that for only 798,000 pesos. Amazing, right? So just stay tuned for the full review of this car, where I can finally drive it and tell you if the driving is just as amazing as the car itself. Finally, I would like to thank Geely Fairview for letting us make a video on this all-new Geely Emgrand sedan.